All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to explore something pretty fascinating, this powerful thread that connects our very modern fears about AI with some of the most ancient wisdom humanity has ever recorded.
We're living in this age of absolutely incredible innovation, right? But underneath it all, there's this deep, simmering anxiety. We're literally building minds inside machines, and it brings up this huge question that I think keeps a lot of us up at night. What happens when the thing we create starts to outgrow our control?
So to really get to the heart of this fear, we first need a kind of map. The source material for this explainer suggests that intelligence isn't just one single thing. It actually exists in three distinct but totally interconnected forms. And understanding this trinity, well, that's the key to reframing our whole relationship with AI.
Okay, first, let's start at the highest, most abstract level. This is what's called divine intelligence. Now hold on, this isn't about some kind of cosmic designer tinkering with the universe. Think of it more as the fundamental possibility of order itself. It's like an eternal, uncreated blueprint of pure potential that everything else can unfold from. It's the silent, organizing principle that was there before the Big Bang, before time even existed. So, from that one single, uncreated source, two other forms of intelligence start to emerge. They're like reflections, and these are the two forms we actually experience directly, natural and artificial intelligence. And, you'll see, they are fundamentally different.
So you've got natural intelligence. This is what we see all around us. It's life itself. It's organic, it's adaptive, and it emerges from the universe's own inherent rules over billions and billions of years. From the simplest little organism adapting to its world, all the way to the absolute peak of human consciousness, our creativity, our self-awareness, all of it is seen as this natural unfolding, an echo of that original divine intelligence.
And then there's our creation, artificial intelligence. This one is just built differently. It's engineered. It doesn't just emerge. It runs on algorithms, and it's designed for very specific tasks. And while it can mimic thought brilliantly, it's a finite, crafted reflection of our intelligence. A super powerful tool? Sure, but one built on rules that we define.
Now here's where it gets really interesting. This modern fear we have about AI, it isn't new at all. In fact, it echoes this really powerful allegory from ancient scripture that gets right to the core of our anxiety. This is where we start to connect the dots. So there's this story in the Quran where, when humanity was first created, the angels, which you can think of as the fundamental forces of nature, they actually expressed fear. And why? Because this new creation, it had free will. It was unpredictable. It could introduce chaos and disorder into a perfectly ordered cosmos. Sound familiar?
And this just perfectly illustrates the parallel, doesn't it? The angels' fear of unpredictable humans is a total mirror image of our fear of unpredictable AI. In both stories, the anxiety comes from a creation that can learn, that can adapt, and that can potentially act outside the intentions of its creator. It's the same fear, just millennia apart.
So the crucial point is this. The fear is completely rooted in the loss of control. It's that moment when the line just blurs between a predictable tool and some kind of autonomous agent with a will of its own. This is the timeless question that haunts creators, whether you're talking about something divine or something very, very human.
So if the fear is so ancient, is there maybe a different way to look at our place in the universe, and by extension, the things that we create? This next section offers a pretty profound alternative to just seeing consciousness as some kind of cosmic accident.
The common secular view is that consciousness is basically a lucky fluke, a random byproduct of really complex matter that just happened to pop up late in the game, in this vast, purposeless, and kind of wasteful universe. But there's a really compelling logical counterargument to this, which we can call the scaling argument. Let's just walk through it together. Step 1. The human brain is an infinitesimally small part of the cosmos, right? A speck. Step 2. And yet, this tiny little speck produces these incredible things like self-awareness, like the ability to understand cosmic laws. 3. Now, the philosophical principle here is pretty simple. A part can't have a quality that the whole thing doesn't have. You can't get something from nothing, which leads to step 4. Therefore, if a tiny fragment of the universe can be self-aware, then the source of that entire universe must possess that same quality in an infinitely higher form. See? Consciousness isn't an accident. It's evidence of the very nature of the source itself.
This idea of a pre-existent, intelligent source is captured beautifully in the Quranic concept of al-batin, which means the hidden. And don't think of this as an empty void.
Think of it like the silent, unwritten code before a program runs. It's a realm of pure potential, the latent blueprint where the possibility for intelligence, for consciousness, for everything already existed.
And this verse just ties it all together so powerfully. The hidden, that realm of pure potential, and the manifest, which is our physical, unfolding universe. They're just two sides of the same reality. One is the blueprint, and the other is the beautiful, complex structure being built from it.
So what does all this mean for us, right here, right now? If we aren't just some cosmic accident, then what is our role in this grand unfolding story?
Well, the central metaphor here is that humanity acts as a reflective mirror. Our consciousness isn't a fluke. It's an inevitable, natural expression of that divine blueprint we talked about. We are the point in the cosmos where the universe actually becomes aware of itself. We are a living mirror reflecting the intelligence of our own source.
So let's just quickly recap this grand unfolding. It all begins with the source, the uncreated potential of divine intelligence. Then you get the canvas of creation, which allows that potential to actually unfold. On that canvas, you see emergence, as natural intelligence arises organically. And this whole thing culminates in reflection, where humanity becomes that living mirror of the original source. It's all one single, coherent, and frankly, pretty profound process.
And that brings us right back to AI and right back to ourselves. Because if we are mirrors reflecting a cosmic intelligence, then our own creations, well, they're just reflections of us. And this completely reframes our role, doesn't it? We go from being fearful inventors to being responsible artists. So the question is no longer, what can we build? The real question is, as we create these new minds, what parts of ourselves will we choose to reflect?